Okay, so I had some problem with my Citrix environment as well. So whatever applications I have published, they're not responding. Any application I publish now is able to, I'm able to publish it and open it, but whatever applications were published before, 8 or 9 applications, they are not opening in on my client side. So I had to do lots of troubleshooting for that. Basic network connectivity style troubleshooting. And if I just drag one of my environments here, one of my machines in the environment, um, so this is my client, and if I quickly log in, I'm just trying to show this. So if maybe any one of you is having the same issue, then I can help. So when I go inside, and if I go inside, because hey, come on, okay, uh, and the second machine is, oh, it's shutting down. Cool, not cool. Okay, and so it's trying to. It's pretty slow right now. The client side where I publish my application. Okay, it opened. So calc, I opened that. It's opening because I just published it, right? But if I go for any other previously published applications, they're not working right now, and I occurred while making the requested connection. So we did do last time for the zone data collector elections, we had to remove the role of worker, the controller, session controller, and we added the session host role, and then we also did some web interface adding. We tried to do the round robin, which I was trying to show you, but in the video I showed that uh, you know it was opening with one URL there. But in the process of adding and removing, um, we have some kind of issues that always arise. I've been receiving emails, and there was some good troubleshooting going on by some of you, and they are really okay. So there's on the chat message that if I am recording, it's always a good idea to double check. Yes, I'm recording, and thank you. Yes, in my environment, any new application I'm publishing is working. So I just published calc, but any of the old applications are the source. So if I click notepad, the resource request is no longer available from the servers, or you are no longer permitted. So I am logged in from administrator, and if I go to server, there, the notepad is there, and it is supposed to work. And if I check my second server, um, okay, that's just something I was doing. And so what I'm just trying to say that we are facing lots of issues, and this is really sharpening our troubleshooting skills if we are able to solve those. And please do involve me. Be stubborn about that. I'm also actually, everyone is busy, of course. Really, I was stuck in last 2 weeks, and still am stuck. But uh, I'm trying to manage this now. But please be stubborn, because I would love to troubleshoot with you again. If I am unable to reply to your emails, just email me again. I don't mind that, and try to just let me know what's going on. I would try to resolve or take part in your troubleshooting to maintain your Citrix environment. Okay, so what we did last time. So right now, what's going on here is that somehow my applications are broken. The links are broken. I am unable to, uh, you know, uh, uh, open any of those applications that I created. And what then I did a lot of troubleshooting there. Nothing I did not have to go to the forums. I just added the my one of my servers were one of them was the session host enabled, so I removed it and added it again as a controller, session controller. So this, and then tried to do ipconfig flush DNS, register DNS, and also fixed that web interface. So now at least I'm able to publish any new application, but older applications I have lost connectivity with, which I have to either republish those applications now. So this happens in production environments as well, and we really have to come up with something. So maybe we have updated some hot fixes and all the applications are broken, or some of the applications are broken. I mean, they're not starting at all. So we have to then try different clients. I have two Windows 7 machines. Second one I have to put the key. But the first one, most of the applications are broken. So, well, I have no choice but to really troubleshoot, keep on troubleshooting. Either I have enough time to go ahead and, fix this, or just republish the application, right? So they're not connecting right now. While the applications are actually there, they're not connecting. So I'm just gonna try to do this Fox reader because it is just available there. So if I right click and delete this application, Foxit Reader, and go for just refresh user data. Yes, okay. And so it is already, yeah, it did not go from there. Well, it will refresh. So yeah, it's gone. Well, this is something that I just wanted to show, that anything new is working. So if I quickly just go next and fox it, and next, install application, next, browse, and program files, Foxit software, reader, and reader, next, add from which servers, add all, next. So who should be allowed? Normally the good thing, policy would be to go for domain users, and next, finish. Okay, so I'll just check it by refreshing it. If I go reconnect and reconnect again, so calc is still working, notepad or anything else is not working. I just published Foxit. Oh, that's not that. So maybe I have to refresh or log in again. This is the old version. So okay, anyway, I was just trying to do one more check of my environment because of what we are going to do today. So I'll just open the slide now. So all these troubleshooting, I've shared those PDFs on the links as well, the PDF files. So you could just see all those as well and go for these troubleshooting tips and add your own troubleshooting tips as well. It will be I'll really appreciate that if you add to that forum or email to the group that, hey, I was in this problem and I came out like this. So then are you sending screenshots of your Citrix repeat lab? Are you repeating the lab regularly? So I understand that there are a lot of problems going on with your environment. You're busy as well. Try to hang on, try to not give up. If this same problem comes in your production environment where your boss is standing in front of you and saying, hey, do it now, or make it happen, just make it work, so you have to do it no matter what. So take this environment, Citrix environment, as your production environment, and your job is counting on that. So go ahead and just be stubborn. Try to contact me as well. Don't give up, don't lose hope that okay, it's just gone, I give up. No, don't go for that. I mean, if you really hang in there, there is solution, there's always a solution. So And please do involve me, show me some more emails. I'll try my best to connect to you and try to log in to your machine whenever there's time. So there is time tomorrow as well. I am available tomorrow. I know that, especially the morning time or possibly evening time as well. So you could just try to let me know if your environments are having problem. So we can go ahead. If you're preparing for the exam, let me know. We can share the material as well. Also, if you want to take part in that, exam collection, then Munzer has some information for you. You know, if you want to grab those premium files, then you can take part in that, and you have to just take part. You have to pay for that 6 month membership. So that's a very good initiative, and you get to have those files available. So all sort of questions that you can go through. Yeah, if you don't know, that exam collect www.examcollection.com, just for review of all the questions that you would really need to go through for in order to pass the exam. And Citrix questions are not that many, so at least put that Citrix logo on your resume. It really is worth putting there, because huge amount of businesses have Citrix environments, and once you mention that, you will be receiving at least calls from those who really want some Citrix experts, but also VMware's SCCM Exchange. So give your exams as soon as possible and get that logo up on your resume, and that will be really beneficial for you. Let me know if you're interested in those exams, and I'll just send you the material and we can talk about it. Okay, so today we are doing this topic of load evaluators, and we can also do a check on our round robin simple configuration. What happened? Were we able to really connect? Okay, there's like that kid storm passing by from my room, so I think it's gonna be quite down after a few minutes. Anyway, so also we're gonna check the role of Windows NLB and round robin. So there's that Windows network load balancing feature as well. There are external load balancers as well, and we're gonna be talking about those as well. So first of all, Citrix has its internal load evaluators, and it's very nice feature to have free. I mean, like, you don't have to pay separate licenses for that, and it tries to know which server has the most load. There are counters and thresholds that we need to know. There are some policies that we need to implement to go ahead and see what is already happening, what kind of load evaluation thresholds are already configured. NLB is still a free feature, Windows based free feature, but companies normally go for external load balancers for even other applications like Exchange Server. But this is for small to medium sized businesses that you go for NLB and round robin. We did try to do the round robin, which was very, very simple. Although I had some issues with that, but later resolved and gave you the video for that. I hope some of you may have tried that round robin. There was some of you who have sent screenshots for that too. Thank you for that. So let's go ahead and last time what we were doing was web interface redundancy. So there was that Citrix mem01. There is still that URL where I'm using right now, but in the video I was able to show you that when we go for just Citrix Citrix domain .local, or that link which we decided, so it was still opening all those, but there was some problem with my side that I was not able to open the applications, and that was some other issue that we played a lot with the Citrix environment. If we go for this round robin, yeah, we did try to do that. We had created that Citrix web. In the end, I would want to try it today, just to show that the network load balancing, Windows network load balancing, can work side by side with round robin, and you can have a very cheap solution, free solution actually, not cheap. You don't have to pay anything. NLB is a Windows feature. You can just go for that and balance your Citrix servers. It's and nothing is easy, but the configuration is not that difficult as well. But of course, when you don't pay, you get what you pay for, right? That's the thing. If you pay more, you could get better load balancers out there. Netscaler is one of them. I'm trying to get this that lab also covered. So let's go and talk about this basic administration for configuring load management. But what is load manager? Where is it in our Citrix environment? Load manager. So load manager is load manager offers the following benefits to enterprises. It's already inbuilt feature, but we have been going over it separately. Okay, so there's a comment there from Anne. We previously created in the chat. He's saying previously created XenApp websites use 8080 and XenApp services sites use 80. The web interface we visited actually was XenApp services sites 80. Yeah, so we did try to change the port, but definitely we wanted to try to do it on 80, I think. And you don't have headset or something, so I may have to reply you there. Yes, we should first try with first try with 80 for both. Today I'm also trying the network load balancing along with this, so we will give it another try with another bigger, better feature. Round robin is still very basic feature, but when it comes to load balancing, there are many other things people are trying, businesses are applying, because not every business can keep on having budgets for adding some expensive load balancers. So they then ask you as a system administrator, hey, do you have any solution? Windows has any solution to? So that's one of them, to have some smart load balancing introduced there or added there. So we were talking about some internal load manager. Load manager offers the following benefits to enterprises: maximizes system efficiency, provides predefined load evaluators. This is the main thing, that they are predefined load evaluators, and we're gonna visit them. And provides the ability to create custom load evaluators. So not only that, there is already some load evaluators that are predefined, so thresholds have already been given, and the load can be shifted to the other servers if we have 5 or 10 servers. Big environments have hundreds of servers even. But we can also work with our custom load evaluators. There are commands that we can see. There are some terminologies that we will be getting familiar with. Let's go ahead with load manager balances server load across the farm using load evaluator rules. So there are some rules that also we can create. There are some predefined ones. There are some we can create. So identifying which server is least loaded. This is normally done automatically, and we knew that the data collector, the zone data collector, is responsible for trying to find out which server is having the least load, and will redirect all the traffic to that server. is a Citrix server. But how does it know that? So there are those predefined thresholds of inside the load evaluators that are feeding the information to the you know, that data collector, and then it decides that okay, so this server has not that much load. Let's redirect all the new users connecting to that one. So we're gonna just try to see where they are and what they do. Directing client connections to the least loaded server is what the main purpose of this load manager, so we can smartly use this environment. So load evaluators consist of rules um, that determine how load is calculated. So we're going to try to know what are the calculations and what are the thresholds. So can query specific conditions and performance metrics for servers and published applications. So we already have published many applications. It We can also connect our load evaluators to every application that we have, that we can put some thresholds to, you know, our published applications, any one of those, and we're gonna do that too. But we can also have load evaluation done for one or many applications. Why? Because many users, suppose there are 500 users and they're all opening Microsoft Word, and so you must have some load evaluation going on for Microsoft Word, that the instances of that application are opened in such huge numbers. So any other user who is requesting to open that Microsoft Word application, that request should be going to the server that does not have that much load. For that, we have to evaluate the thresholds that have been reached. Okay, so many at one time, one server can take like you know, 20 instances of Microsoft Word, and any other further request will be redirected to the second server, third server, fourth server to open the Microsoft Word on those servers. So the information can be redirected. So have a unique set of parameters for specifying thresholds. Yes, we're gonna try to do that. Can exist together in a single load evaluator. We can define many thresholds in one single load evaluator that we're going to be creating ourselves. So balances load manager balances server load across the farm. So using load evaluator rules, we're gonna try to see what rules are there, and is there any flexibility? Are there a huge amount of rules, or just two or three? And what do they do? So you're using load evaluator rules to calculate server load. It's already been set for most optimized settings that Citrix can think of, but we can just visit them, or we can try to change them if we are advanced users, or we already have some smart monitoring going on of our environment, where we realize that okay, I have monitored this server for 3 or 4 weeks or 3 or 4 months, and now I realize that this is I have to change the thresholds, so the traffic could be redirected quicker to the second server, third server, fourth server than the previous thresholds were redirecting to. So, and then there's identifying which server is least loaded based on the rules in the load evaluator, directing client connections to the least loaded server. Yes, that's what the the data collector does. So this is the window where it shows that load evaluator configuration. There are actually two types of already available load evaluators. One is the default type, and other is the advanced type. And then we can also create custom load evaluators, which can give us lots of information, and we can base on those load evaluators and put some preferences that if certain conditions are met, then we can then the traffic should be redirected to the other servers. So assigning load evaluators to the servers and applications, we can do that as well. So where are these advanced and default load evaluators? If I go to the environment here, and let me just discover, configure, and that. So single sign-on. So my environment, one of them was, according to our last lab, one of them was controller and one of them was session host. So uh, I just removed that and made it session host as well as a controller, because we need that controller role. So yes, the servers are working fine. So this area here, so there are load balancing policies that we can create a load balancing policy, but there are load evaluators that we were just talking right now. So when we click this, and if it's the first time we click that, then there's that advanced and default. You must be seeing, if or whoever is trying to follow is seeing that. So advanced, if I double click that, uh, so this is use advanced load evaluator to limit memory usage, CPU utilization, and page swaps on a server. If I go to current settings, now this is the area that is being it is configured. Some of it is configured, some of it is not configured, but this is advanced. I first wanted to go to the default one. So if I go back to the load evaluator here and go to the default one, double click that, and information is there. The default load evaluator uses the user session count for its criteria. And if I go to advanced, the advanced load evaluator uses this to limit memory usage, CPU utilization, as we just read before, and page swaps on a server for load management. So you can see the main difference right here in the description, that if you are looking for default load evaluator, it's going for it uses the user session count for its criteria to balance the traffic between the servers, or when should it refer the new user connections to the second or third or fourth server, XenApp server. So if we go down to the current settings of the default load evaluator, so there are already throttling rule, and then there is that server user rule. Throttling rule, impact of logons on load high if there is high impact on logons of the user. So this rule only applies to a server, not to an individual application. If you include this rule in an evaluator, then apply that evaluator to an application, the rule is ignored. So on the server, how many users are logging on, and if it is a lot of users logging on, it will consider that full load if there are 100 concurrent connections. If there are more than 100 concurrent connections, then it's going to start the throttling rule. So what is throttling rule anyway? uh, Anyone knows what is throttling? Yeah, you're right. Good. No, sorry, that was too quick. So anyone knows what is throttling? If you have read Exchange, there is throttling used there as well. That how many Outlook connections are done for Exchange environment at any given time. How many sessions a user can open, or for any other server and user environment, server and client environment, that how much of the server resources can be used by a single connection or by a single user at any one time. So it also means that throttling is to save a server's attempt to save its resources so it could keep on working perfectly or in optimized settings. And if any user is trying to create a lot of sessions, or if there is any pressure coming from a single client or a set of clients, that is too many sessions or too many instances are open, that the server might have performance issues because of those sessions. So server will try to push back or stop some of those sessions, or not let more sessions open for that user or client, or at once redirect the newer sessions to the next server, right? So throttling rule just means that the server is safeguarding its resources to keep on working in optimized configuration. And here it says that if there are 100 concurrent connections, then throttling would start, and it would consider it high, and it would just try to make sure that it is still working in optimized state by redirecting any further connection requests to the next server or the next server, and so on, right? So throttling rule is always very important in any application server, wherever there are hundreds of connections connecting. So there is always a limit that, okay, after this I'll start throttling, or if this many sessions from one user or one client is opening, I'm gonna stop that user from doing anything else on this server. uh, so sometimes the user also gets or application also gets an error that your sessions are too many, or it's impacting the server performance, so it's not going to let you use that application anymore, log off, log in again, or close some sessions. So it will, you will be able to work actually on the server. So this is default evaluator. This is then there are other rules that are right now disabled: application user load, context switches load rules, CPU utilization load. So if we keep clicking those, if we need them, so it's going to just at least explain, and we should really see what are the details for that. Then there is that advanced. So we know that the default load evaluator was for the user sessions. Then there's advanced for the use advanced load evaluator to limit memory usage, CPU utilization, and overall server critical resources of the server can be safeguarded, and keep them on the optimized state. This load evaluator by default has certain settings enabled. One of them is again throttling. Then there is that CPU utilization load rule already, which is enabled, and full load of 90 is there, that it will consider that if 90% of the CPU is being used, it will consider it as a full load, and it would start throttling, or the connections would be redirected to the next server, that I am having enough of it, please do not send, or I'm not gonna accept any more connectivity. Then there is that, so thresholds are there for memory, for CPU, and for page swaps, that if you are really running out of memory, then it will start doing page swaps, which means the paging file. So it will use some of the hardest space as a memory to to execute the memory requests for all the applications that are connected or the sessions that are connected and need a lot of memory. So paging would happen. This is a common concept in the Windows environment or any other computing environment. So it has its thresholds available, for basic thresholds, that if there are too many applications open, we're going to really have to stop at certain level, and not all the users will be allowed to just connect to just one server or two or three servers. We're going to still keep on forwarding the request, but zone data collector is going to be doing its job after getting zone data collector, after getting these values from these servers, or every server. It's going to decide how the new connections should be treated, and which server is reporting a lot less load right now. So the connections, new connections and sessions could be redirected to that server. So the advanced load evaluator and default load evaluators are available. But if we want to go for, right now, if I just go back to load evaluators again, we just saw that these were the predefined load evaluators, right? So if we go for the main load evaluator here, we can see that there's usage by server available. So default usage is load evaluators at the default state right now, basic usage going on for both servers. Then usage by application, the applications are mentioned here, they are showing here, but they are not connected to any load evaluator. um, Anyone can tell me, how would you really want to connect load evaluation to any of this application, or which application would you want to connect load evaluator to, and why? Anyone, if you are getting this concept of load evaluation, which is not big deal, right? So which application would you want the load evaluator to keep evaluating its instances? So what's the purpose of attaching a load evaluator to any of these application? Anyone can tell me in the chat. So again, the question is that uh, would you want to connect a load evaluator to any application, and why? Anyone can tell me, why would you want to connect a load evaluator to any application? Okay, so there's that reply: sessions, to have enough sessions, or when the session is connected and in enough instances of applications are open. So one user just opens 3 instances of Microsoft Word. Okay, one file is for something else, one other file is for other purpose, and 3 sessions are open already. You would want to evaluate the load it's creating. One user is opening 2 sessions of Excel, 3 sessions of Word, one calculator is also open. So a lot of applications are open, but you, after monitoring for few months, you would know that, okay, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint are, majority of the users are all users are using that every day, and majority of the users are actually starting more than one instances of these applications. So you would want to really evaluate the most used applications in the environment, and connect a load evaluator that would just at least tell you that threshold has been met or not, or what is the threshold anyway for any application. Attach application to load evaluator. If I right click this or navigate to the application, refresh that. In my case, even the applications are giving me a problem, but I did publish one of the application there. If I want to click this, so I'm right clicking the Foxit application, which I just published at the start of this class. So, or any application, if I want to publish, they all have this that option of attach application to load evaluator. So if I select that, assign load evaluator, would you want to assign advanced load evaluator or default? If I select default, what it's going to do, the default load evaluator uses the user session. So rules used by evaluator would be server user load, wherever so if there are many instances of the Foxit application, opened by a user or by lots of users, they are using this particular application. So default load evaluator would try to start throttling just to save some of the server resources for extra sessions, and would either stop you from opening any further connections for instance of this application, or redirect you to another server which will let you open the another instance of the same application, right? So you would then go for default, but if you want to really have some advanced load evaluation, then of course it's going to see that any number of instances opening for this particular application by lots of users who are connected to this server, are what CPU utilization this application instances are covering, page swaps are going on, and this will definitely be much more. So you would just put that for the applications that are actually, I would use the word, are actually being abused. So the application themselves, the users are just working, right? They want to work. Okay, I'm having this project and that project. Okay, I need to work. I don't care about where that application is coming from. So you as an administrator would really want to have some kind of monitoring enabled, that which application is really putting some performance challenges on that on your servers or your particular server, and you would want to do load evaluation for that particular application. So if I put that advanced on that Foxit, or any of the applications that are actually being mostly used, or in system administrators term they can say abused as well, that those applications are really affecting your server performances, so you could go for this. But does it really do that? So if I had selected that and put refresh, yeah, so under the load evaluator the advanced option is showing there. And then so this means that yes, we can connect application load evaluators with applications, the basic ones or advanced ones. There is a command also that shows you some of the information about the load evaluator. So if I CLS this or clear the screen, cd backslash and then CLS again, so there's a command called query farm, QUERY, query farm slash load. When I put that, it's just giving that there are sessions open for on this server and that server. The server load is there. So if I go back to my client machine, both of them, and yeah, one more thing, if it's showing some load evaluation, inbuilt load evaluation on the server side, maybe you added some more load just to check how it responds. So sometimes it's not accurate, and it's gonna show you. So suppose there's a load of 100 showing here, that this is increment of 100 is added, is supposed to be added per extra user that has created, if it is by on the default load evaluation right now. So if I start to put some sessions, puts a little load to this server, the main thing is that it should at once show that, oh, there's a new application connected, or there is that extra load that has, or one more application just connected, and whatever load is there should be showing to us in that command. But it normally is not showing right away, although if we give it time, it does do that. It does show correct load evaluation for currently connected session. So if I connect from this and open the calc application, yeah, I have this many days left. Oh, okay. So there is. Oh yeah, and Fox said, I think, yeah, I did republish it, so it should also open. Okay, good, it's also opening. Two applications opened, and if I put the load, okay, so load throttling load. Um, it first of all, two user sessions are connected, so it is showing 200. If let me just make it a little more, uh, change the values so we could evaluate what's going on. I'm just gonna go for another 2 or 3 sessions from another machine. Administrator. Oh, in fact, user 03. The password is always the class password, and Citrix domain.local. Some of the resources are available for some of your resources are available for reconnection. However, the current security configuration of your browser means that they cannot be reconnected. Security configuration of the browser? Seriously? Oh yeah. Once the user has been added to the appropriate security zone. Okay. Let me just put it on safe site, trusted sites. Okay. It is asking for that. I'm just going to put it to the trusted sites and continue. Okay. An appropriate client is available on your computer. If I open the calc again and Fox it again as well, and does notepad happen? No, all the previously published applications are not working. Okay, I have some more load here, and if I go back to the server, so you can see that there are two connections on mem01 and one connection on Citrix mem02, and load throttling happened. This is just showing that log on happened for a certain time. As long as the user was logged in, the throttling is now gone. So this is the default load evaluation that was going on, where the user sessions and user related information is weighed. So there will sometimes it shows 10,000 here as well while the user sessions are logging in. If I just quickly log out and log in again, it's going to again show the throttling, that okay, there is some logging in going on because it's the default evaluator which just evaluates the user session connectivity. Whoa, what happened? No, I did not want to log off. Oh, you know what? Cleaning up resources, waiting for one program still needs to close, but I don't want to close. Okay, yeah, it's that I need to really put the key there. One user just logged off, so if I go and close this now and just recreate that logging again here, and administrator. So, oh, seriously? Okay. Terminal services cleaning up resources. Okay, I put the load evaluation, but I didn't mean to do this now. Seriously, force log up. Okay, log up. Guys, let me just clear this. If it started, okay. Terminal server session forced me off from my sessions, and although I did not put any considerable load here, it really showed me some efficiencies of, hey, you've put some throttling there, you put some load there. What I did in front of you was just to give that application, oh yeah, advanced. Well, I still need to see if advanced threshold were even if I was just close to meeting those thresholds. I need to dig a little deeper into this, that I did not meet any of the full loads. I just opened the applications, and then so let me just open that again. I just wanted to show you one more time that throttling, because throttling happens during that logon user session logon. It's going to show those values that, oh, there is logon going on, but after the user session has logged in, you would not see throttling anymore, because it's a default load evaluator in the working, and we are putting the right commands to actually see what's the throttling going on right now, what kind of server resources are being used when the user is logging in, or what the value really offers. So the user session has logged in, and if I go for throttling, okay, let me just show one more thing. So now there's one session connected or to Citrix mem 2 only, because the second on the other machines there. Okay, let me just log in from here as well, just to show that throttling once more. Administrator, I need to still see that why the that terminal services forced my sessions off, because it should not be something to do with load evaluation, and it should not happen again as well. But if it would, that it would force me off because terminal server is cleaning up sessions, so that would be something. So the product is using evaluation license. Yeah, it has nothing to do with forcing me off from here, right? Then authorized. Okay. So I'm just opening two applications here, and okay, it's still the task you're trying to do can't be completed because remote desktop service is currently busy. Please try again. Seriously. And if I put the load here, now it's not showing the throttling. So the sessions, okay, there's one more thing that I wanted to show here, which is lingering timeout. This is something. There's another terminology. If I go to this server, so I'm just gonna keep this open. If I go to this server, excuse me, it's not recording those sessions. There's one session right now. Let me show you the lingering timeout. Okay, it's not showing here. Let me just try to confirm. Okay, there were sessions that were connected to this server, and there is a terminology called sorry. There's a terminology called lingering time, which means that a session, when it is disconnected, there the session is not terminated from the server. It takes 15 minutes for the disconnected session to be totally terminated, right? So I have opened applications, and in this area the task that you're trying to do can't be completed because remote desktop. Okay, I should not put that load evaluator right now, because I think it's efficiently working, or I'm having some other issue, because it should not be an issue of load evaluation. So I have opened lots of application instances here, and if see this if those applications were closed as well, but this lingering session policy, it just means that if you close a session, it will not be terminated. It will take 15 minutes to terminate, although it's closed there, but it's not going to close the session here, which means it's going to keep on taking lots of it's going to keep on using the CPU and memory. So what I'm trying to say is that even if I close and open the session, previous session is still not terminated, so the value is going to be available for the current sessions in some time, in a so there 100 just means that one user session was connected, 200 just means that two user sessions were connected. But I wanted to make a third user connection, so I could just make it clear that these load settings are showing some of the current sessions that are going on and using our environment. So throttling would be only available when it sees the initial user connectivity, user trying to open a session. The throttling would show, like as it was showing 5,000, then it just went down. Okay, sessions are connected. There is not much load going on. And then there is that user session that is right now available or it's connected. So it's going to show that one user is connected to Citrix mem02, or two users are connected right now to Citrix mem02. If I keep doing that, it might change after some time if the users are disconnected. Right now users are both connected, so let me see if it really updates that the network connection to your application was interrupted. Try to access your application later. Okay, I have disconnected one session from here, or let's just disconnect both sessions. So does it update right away? Okay, good. Both sessions disconnected. It's showing 0 now. If I just connect one session just to get this concept pretty clear. I hope it shows right away at least 100. Not right away. Well, we're gonna give it a little time. Yeah, it's not that quick. It's not gonna show quick. It is giving information for both these servers. So yeah, not now. If I open, oh yeah, I've logged into the user. I have to open a session or instance of an application. So yeah, go start. Okay, 100. Okay, and it's connected to 1 right now. So, and is it connected to 1? So if I go to 1, and this is active session when it connected. So we can go down to details as per the details availability. One session connected at 8 p.m. and this is exactly 8 from Citrix Win7. Yeah, this is the one, I think. Citrix Win7. Win7 client. No, this is the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's where I just opened that. So we can see some live activity going on per server, and also it just says Citrix mem01 session count 1 is showing there, plus all the information. But when we come to sessions, it really shows that the whatever connectivity is going on right now with both the servers. So we have connected load evaluation with the Foxit application. If I want to just change it to default and refresh, it's going to change for default. Also notepad, so I just wanted to see some more results later, so I'm just gonna put it to default for both these applications. Normally in whenever our bosses say, okay, some report on the performances, as users are saying no, they're not good, so there's some performance impact or it's slow, so we start doing some of the monitoring, as well as the SCOM also has very good the management pack for Citrix also is cool. It gives us lots of in and out information about the environment, plus of course there are many other third-party software as well, but this also gives some live evaluation of who's using what, how many sessions are connected. I would want to have a script that would create hundreds of sessions right away, or if we open just hundreds of instances and try to know what's going on. So there are 2 instances of calculator, and I just put that that default option there. uh, default evaluator, and fourth instance, 5 instance. So one user is now, this is called serious abuse of that our environment. So we have like 7 instances of calculator open right now. And does the load start showing something, although it's just one user connection still. And if application load, so yeah, I would have to go for some more commands to get the exact information. But if load information used by application, so I'll just keep those 7 applications open and check. Yeah, they're connected all to one Citrix XenApp 6.5. They're active from this machine. Yes, this is the machine, and at least I have some live, you know, information coming, and idle for this much time. But if I refresh that, I've been idle for, okay, it's not giving any time right now. So 9 items are open. On the second server, nothing is open as per session. And let me just really start abusing that. So I would just see if I should be attaching actually the advanced one instead of the, because I wanted the throttling to start, that hey, you're really trying to abuse a lot of sessions here. And Foxit sessions are also open now. It did not redirect it yet to the second server. And I'll just quickly go back and just put this to advanced. So I'm surely putting some load on the CPUs and memory swap and the memory as well, although it should not be that much. But refresh, so they're both on advanced, so I'll just keep that here and go for something else. Let's put some more abuse on this server as well as from another session, so we could get some interesting values after a few minutes. Because I have these 2 applications only working right now, so 2 times and three times. Okay, so whenever they open, I'm gonna start seeing the session window open for first server. Oh, session state disconnected for this. Okay. So okay, that's alright. Yeah, so they are on advanced. And the sessions are being disconnected or not allowed. So sorry. Oh, all sessions are disconnected. I had 7 instances or 8 instances of calculator open, but I think I'm logged in from same user. Yeah, and the network connection to your application was interrupted. Try to get into senses and stop abusing our Citrix environment. This should be the actual message, but I'm just being nice, right? So this should be the straightforward message. Hey, you better stop it, or okay. So I had opened sessions here as well on this, but all the sessions were stopped and closed forcefully on this server. So and they were showing disconnected. Now the new sessions I've created, this on Win7 client, which is the second one now, right? Win7 is this one where I just opened. So those clients are not, those sessions are showing. On the first one, it closed it. If we so there's a comment in the chat, if we abuse the server, this, yes, I don't think you're right. I mean, this situation does not get initiated by one user. I'm just trying to see some of the reaction, automated reaction from the server, from those load evaluators that they are having enough now, and they will really do what they have to do. So they did close all my sessions as soon as they see some abuse. But yes, the server will go down if load evaluators are not working, if the data center, data collector, sorry, the data collector is not, you know, every session request is not redirected to second server. So load evaluators are effectively trying to throttle and not let you use further resources, or and are not letting you try to open any further connections, and in fact forcefully shutting down your connections, just instances, if there are this many. But if you have so many users connected, yes, the server performance will go down. The users will be affected by that too. Although there are automated ways to stop that abuse which you just saw. So in it doesn't go down because of the instances open, right? It doesn't go down because it could go down from, the processor, it was working so much that it heated up, the hardware start malfunctioning, or the corruption happened on the software side. But when it comes to session control and instances control, it is kind of smart there to really. Citrix is That's why Citrix is the leader in application virtualization, because it has some smart mechanisms to really control the abuse, by the users. So when I was opening that, you saw that it just closed all my sessions. But we can try to put it to test on various levels. I have a Word document which I will try to give. Okay, this is not abuse. This is just me not putting the key there, so it's restarting. But I will give you the set of commands that you can try to go deeper and see the actual load values by using some switches to the command I'm giving already. I'm just using the simple command right now for a user session. There's one user only connected, so there's only one. 100 is it increments by 100 if there are 2 users or 3 users per user that connects there, right? So it will go down for its own local problems, issues, and those issues might arise from this abuse of sessions, yes. But just because of abuse of sessions, it might not go down, because it has some very good mechanisms to stop those abuses. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so there are these load evaluators. I put advanced load evaluator to this application, to 2 of the applications that are actually working for me, and then I put it test. I still need to put the key here. I should be having 4 or 5 clients here to really put that Citrix load evaluation to test. But I would recommend you guys to really go ahead and start some 3 or 4 clients, or really try to put a lot of pressure, and then try to see if there are some automated throttling mechanisms that are going to stop your attempts at putting a lot of pressure or load on the servers. There is that add load evaluator as well. So if this is like, we can have custom load evaluator. Before that, I just wanted to confirm, why did the session lingering not arrive? This means I did not put it. Choose columns. Okay, choose columns here. Lingering sessions, that option that I was saying, that that your disconnected sessions will still not be terminated for next 15 minutes, right? It's not here. Then sessions, columns. Yeah, I'm looking at that wrong here. Process was not in part of published application. Nope. Well, if choose columns is there, it should be in session, because I'm just saying the word lingering sessions. Okay, well, to figure that out, why it's not showing here. For the server or for the zone, and I just last time I'm just seeing that, and then we'll try to figure it out later. Okay, it's not there. So disconnected, but they are still going to stay there. It will terminate it after maybe. This is disconnected on the second machine, which was actually restarted because of expiration. But it's gonna terminate in 15 minutes. So yeah, I was talking about then that these are the default load evaluations. We can put it on servers as well for servers are getting the default load evaluator, and we can put the load evaluation policies as well. We can also create custom load evaluator. I wanted to navigate to the server, refresh, but so applications can be attached here for with the load evaluator. So let me just create the custom one now. New, add load evaluator. So now you can see that there is a huge amount of criteria that we can add, and there's explanation for all the application user load. This rule allows your load evaluator to calculate a load based on the number of users accessing a specific published application on the attached server. So this is smart. I mean, I think what we attached a load evaluator, and it was doing just that. But we can just put the rule if we enable this rule there. So report full load when the number of users for this application equals. So if there are 100 users, then say, hey, it's full, come on, give it up. We can just put this to test. If I just put 2 here, that report full load when the number of users for this application equals to 2. And if I go browse which application that I want to use, so 2 users can connect to calc. So if I just put that there, and testing full load, this is just one of them, right? So if I press OK, there is that. Okay, let me just refresh that. I used it for calc, and there is this custom loader should be actually appearing here, but it should load evaluate. Yeah, there it is. Testing full load. So if 2 users connect to this application, it should report full load, and we can try to at least know that from here. So I'm just gonna simply disconnect, and seriously. So custom load evaluation for one application could be even more interesting if we go there and check those specifics. I really need to put a key here. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly log in from this. So user 03. I just wanted to see if it really tells it as a pop-up or as an event viewer. So Citrix domain.local, and one user is opening, was it calc? Oh, right. Which application did I put there? Sorry. Current setting, modify loader properties. Yeah, there it is. So it was calc. Okay. And refresh, then refresh, double click and refresh. Now I opened with one user calc, and I'll just open quickly with another user calc, and it should be a full load according to that custom load evaluator I added. So first I log in from user 03. Now I'm logging in from administrator. and calc. So this load evaluator should be application user load. Application is calc. Full load will be considered 2. 2 is 2 is too much. That means so there are 2 users connected right now because increment of 100, and they are loaded on separate servers as well, and I need to have some more commands to actually show me. So I'm just gonna let it happen. And what's happening on the server side and on the sessions, one calc application is open, and session information for that application is that client build, where's the path, and it's server buffers, it's not using anything for now. Client modules, no, these are the, so searching calc is using this process ID on server 2. I can easily terminate that right now as well. I can, so there is user 3 connected on server 2, and then there is another calc application. Oh, those applications are still active there, while that machine actually logged off, but it's still, let me refresh this. So calc is, well, there are so many calc applications, so I cannot actually find out perfectly where it is. Oh, the user session. Why didn't it disconnect? Selected. Okay, this is totally wrong because I have just one session here. Well, it needs to update its evaluators. So, well, I created a custom evaluator, and it just showed me there that there are 2 users. But what I wanted to see was that it should show applicants. So I would go for event viewers as well as the events for the Citrix in that event viewer, and try to see if it is doing some throttling or it's considering it full load. So I'm just gonna give it a little time and see what happens there. So I'm going to again go to new add load evaluator and just go through all these things that we can create a custom load evaluator to so context switches, or this rule allows your load evaluator to calculate a load based on the CPU context switches. A context switch occurs every time the operating system switches from one executing process to another. So how many processes are being switched by the CPU depends on how many processes are being loaded. Then CPU utilization, we can just try to see any of the custom load evaluator and put any of the evaluation going through. Load throttling is there. We can just define any of those and then put the load evaluation for that. But I still have to see that I did put that application load evaluation for calc, and I need to just find out, okay, the network connection to your application was interrupted. This message comes when you have breached the threshold. So what happened here? Yeah, it's fine. Is it? So I'll just, the 2 users opening this application, I'll just keep it open again, but I can still see there are too many previous sessions open on the server, which I don't want actually. So it's not giving me the true reading right now, because even older sessions can be seen on that server. So that's not going to give me a true picture of what's going on for this custom load evaluator. So I'm gonna give it time. I have opened that session, one session again, and oh sorry, here, no, all those sessions are still open. Okay, previous session. So it did not do anything about that, it let it open, right? Okay, so let me just finish this, then I'll just terminate all those. and then see that custom load version. Then we go for load balancing policies, and what's the difference between load balancing policies and policies. So scheduling is there, server user load. We can just try to redo our homework, and then this is interesting also. Server user load, that report full load when the number of server users equals 100. So when the number of users is less than or equal to the high threshold, load manager reports a load percentage based on the threshold value. When the number of users exceeds the high threshold, load manager reports full load. The valid range for the high threshold is 1 to 10,000. It can report up to 10,000 users. Okay, so we get to know all that, and we get to test some of these. But I did try to abuse some of it, but it takes time to get the correct reports, and I still need to provide you some of the many more switches than we can see to get to know, okay, how we really evaluate per user, per application. Okay, comment in chat. So this is custom load evaluator. Then we have advanced and default load evaluators. I have all these sessions right now open for calc. They are not terminating. If I select all of these sessions from here on the server, there is that disconnect, but I wanted to see that we can actually log off the user as well. So who's that abuser anyway? I think it's the administrator. Yeah, administrator. So okay, well, why did I even think about it? It's written here. Can I log you off, mister? This task will affect all applications running in the selected sessions. Do you want to log off the selected session? Yes. Okay, all applications are gone. Just double check. Now it's that one application that was that I opened. This is the number of session logged off, right? So I could, okay, why don't you show me the current situation now? Okay, good. Since this guy was the abuser, I can send him a message. Would you stop it already? Does it even go? That was just for fun. Because I'm the administrator, it just boom. I received it. Oh, I didn't get it here. Okay, anyway, we used to do that. Okay, so wherever I'm actively logged in, it's gonna send there. So let's go ahead and try different things now. So there is a comment there. I did not see load balancing, or I'm missing between two server when heavy traffic. Can you repeat again? Yeah, so what I wanted to show you was the throttling and forceful closure of the application's load balancing. So this is what we're talking about, load evaluation, right? It's evaluating the load right now, and it has some stoppage mechanisms for this. So if we go for evaluation, there is that already throttling rule that I would try to stop you from at opening any further sessions, and there is that threshold when it. So evaluation is what? Does it really do anything other than give you the readings and evaluation? And if it has the throttling enabled, it will try to at least try to stop some newer instances from already the user who's abusing those areas. So if you go for load balancing policies, this is going to do the actual balancing. These are the evaluators right now, which you have the readings available for you, and you have some of it to be, you know, balancing, or at least it's going to throttle to certain degree that okay, I'm not gonna let you open any further sessions. My sessions were stopped, or you know, those 7 or 8 sessions were open in one interface. When I logged in from the other machine, those sessions were closed in one of the machines. So it's not going to, evaluation is going to just evaluate, not balance automatically. Although it says here for application, so if we put the load evaluation evaluator for advanced and go for what has advanced enabled, CPU utilization, it will evaluate the load, and throttling will be there, memory will be evaluated, page swaps will be evaluated. Okay, once evaluation is done, what will happen? It should give this information. It is supposed to give that information to who? To the data collector. That data collector should be opening the next new user sessions to the second server. So when I was logged in from 2 servers, and once on one server session there were many applications, I logged into the second user. That user was connected to the second server, right? And then since I have just 2 users, that's why I wanted to see if we have 4 or 5 machines that we can log into, or if we can use the DC and log in from here as well through, you know, the browser, to create a third user session. So many times the next user was connected to the next server, and first user was connected to the first server, right? But mainly the task of evaluators is to give readings to the data collector, and data collector is, you know, yeah, one. In our case right now, in my case, both of them are data collectors. No, one of them is data collector. Why? Because this is just one zone. I had created separate zones before. Now it is just one zone. In one zone there could be only one data collector, and most preferred would be the data collector. So in my case, mem01 is data collector. Data collector will get these evaluations and then try to you know, redirect the second user to the other. So yes, you can keep opening those applications, the sessions, then try to start another user, then try to start a third user, and see how it is being balanced. Or if it is not balanced, what will happen? If you start third or fourth session, or fourth user is logged in from any other server, they should all be logging in to the same server, right? So the second user, third user, fourth user will be logging into the same server. While data collector does is, what it does is that it would redirect the second, third, fourth user to the second server because of the evaluation readings coming from this server. If it's reaching the threshold, it's not gonna let any new user sessions connected to this same server, right? So try that, and log into one user, open lots of instances, then go to another computer and log in from there, and go to domain controller, open the browser, log in from third user, create 3 or 4 users in Active Directory, and then try to log in from there and open instances. Then you should see that both servers are sharing the load now, right? Okay, there is load balancing policies as time for break is welcome. So time for break is coming. Yeah, there was request for break. Load balancing policies are there. So if I right click the load balancing policies, and so first click the load balancing policy and information there. So the only option here is to I just wanted to see set accessibility options or customize. I wanted to add some more options to the columns. Okay, create load balancing policy here. So now it is all about prioritizing how you want the behavior of the different you know, options here. So load balancing policy name, IP based traffic. Suppose I just put this name here. Then I can start putting filters here, connections coming from outside, access gateway, but connections I know that are all coming from inside. The range could be the IP-based connection applied to all client IP addresses, or we can give IP address range here, actually IPv4 address range, 192.168 1.0, or the full range. We could just take the example and then take this as well. So either we can put as this, or as this, or from up to this to this. But the main thing is that what are we trying to do here? Load balancing the traffic if it is coming from certain range of IPs, then or filter based on client names, and try to add computers that if the traffic is coming from there, then try to do load balancing. And then there is there are users, filter based on users. So load balancing policies is that select any of the subcategories listed in the tree to set properties for individual pages. So worker group preference, configure application connection preference based on worker group. So if traffic, so what we are saying is if traffic is coming from this particular IP ranges or range, or these particular clients, then prefer this group of XenApp servers to let them open all the sessions. So any traffic coming from here, you would want to first go ahead and I have just one worker group. If I have two or three, so I would just go for, okay, I would prefer that if this traffic is coming, first try to have Toronto servers be the host to all the connection requests coming from this IP range. If they are fully loaded, then go for, there is a priority written here, 1. So there, maybe we created London servers worker groups and added some servers there, or any other worker group. It would then go priority wise, one by one. Okay, all traffic coming from this filter, either this IP range, client names, or users, should be connected to these servers as priority number 1. If they are fully loaded, then go for the second priority worker group or group of servers, and go for third priority. This also makes sure that one of the benefit is that suppose this traffic is coming actually from London, this range is in a London branch, all these traffic coming from London branch, and you, suppose this is a Toronto branch, and there are worker groups from London as well, from New York as well. So you're saying that, hey, especially whenever the traffic is connecting from this specific IP range, connect them to Toronto servers. And if they are fully loaded, then the nearest, so the lowest cost you would think of that, oh, I have from Toronto to in Toronto to Mississauga, the next nearest and best connectivity I have in with the Mississauga worker group, which is another data center or a branch where we have XenApp servers. So this traffic would go to second priority according to your evaluation of the cost, that the best service will be available. If they are fully loaded, go for the next group of servers which according to the best connectivity, they will be having the good user experience by connecting there. Instead of, if this is fully loaded or there's too much load there, they would connect to any random servers which is in England, London, which might cost them a lot if these servers are rejecting connections or redirecting the connections. So there is a criteria, or priority wise you can just put there, or you can say that set the delivery protocols for applications stream to client. So it just has more options that any traffic coming from these filters, so stream them, let them stream the application, allow applications to stream to the client, or force applications to stream to the client. If this option is selected, clients that do not support streaming, do not match the profile, will not be able to launch the application at all. So if we force, according to the source of the traffic, we force them to use just streaming applications. So those who don't have the offline client, you know that without offline client we cannot use streaming applications. um, so we want to force certain criteria because we want to do some kind of load balancing, that streaming applications is only available on certain for certain amount of users, and do not allow applications to stream to the client at all. So we can force this set of users to go and get streaming applications only. So we are trying to save this traffic from going somewhere else and using or abusing the resources. Or we can try to put the preference that connect the nearest best possible servers with best performance. If they're not available, go for the next group of servers which are also having good connectivity and good user experience. So this load balancing really gives us some customization into how do we regulate the traffic, how do we redirect some specific traffic to specific set of servers, right? And then there are these policies. Okay, we're going to talk about that after the break. There is some demand coming. So let's have that 10 or 15-minute break and then come back. 10-minute break. Then we go ahead and do 15.5. So there's a demand for 15-minute. I don't know why, but maybe you want to eat. Yeah. So a 15-minute break, and then we come back again. And you're welcome. Okay, pausing the video here. Okay, we're back. So let's try to go for those policies. And we were trying to test the load evaluators. I'm just gonna drag the workstation here, and we were talking a lot about all those load evaluators. So when we go down to the policies, we did talk about before as well for with policies here, that just double checking those, we can either implement policies from here, or we can add from our domain controller as well, those policies. So if we go for computer here, computer related policies, we already did try to add some policies there. We did not yet used any of those policies practically to implement on any of the complicated labs or features. But if we get to know all this, we're going to be talking about printing in next session, as well as some streaming videos and the policies related to that, where we can have some good user experience. So we're going to then be implementing some of the policies as well. But here, when we're talking about load, there is that unfiltered, or if I can just create a new policy by the name of load evaluator. What I wanted to, although there are not many policies related to this, but we can just go ahead. So if I just went to create a new policy, and then went and named it load evaluators, click next. So any policy that has anything to do with load, we can just try to know that either we can just put it here, or we can go down anything that really sounds like that, or yeah, we'll just put load here. And there are two load evaluator name. So this is like on large scale, if you're putting those policies, implementing on any of the areas of our environment. So if I click add here, and it is supposed to drop down and show those load evaluators like in the back. So if I go here and just load evaluators, so we have these load evaluators already showing, but they should be appearing in the policy here, or at least that new one should be appearing there, but somehow they're not appearing. So change display information, current settings, duplicate load evaluator. So if I have a duplicate load evaluator, I click just duplicate here, right? So it's just giving me copy of advanced, although it's not going to start showing now in the policy, but it's normally supposed to pop up here. So if I go cancel out and put the load here again, add, so they are supposed to be showing, but when I enable them or made some changes in the load evaluation, maybe it needs a restart or something, but it normally shows like you want to go for default or you want to go for advanced policies, and then you try to, so for now I just fill up with, you know, test load eval, or, you know, custom load eval. So we can just put the comments here as well, and if we go for default value, no, just that this is just a load divider name, and then we can try to get ahead and implement on whichever servers we want, but main thing is that if you go for load here and there are just two popping up, and if I click add or you try to do that, there should be those advanced or default load evaluators popping up here, or the custom load evaluators should also be popping up. Since we just try to talk about that or try to configure or made some few changes there, so it's not appearing for some reason. If I uncheck the 6, all the policy related 6.5 are there, although 6 is also okay. So I need to see that, work on it, but they're supposed to be default and advanced and the custom load all appearing in this policy. But I try to create a new one. If I go for unfiltered one and click edit there and go for settings there and try to search if the default one and the advanced one are popping up here, nope. Or I could just go with the second server and just try the same thing. Maybe the first server has some issue with the window display, you know, the drop down menu or something, or it's the problem with the both. If I click add here and drop now, so I have to do certain steps to get it there, but it should be appearing in the policy easily. Maybe if someone else is testing with me right now can confirm that. If you have if you can see the, you know, in the policy, edit and then go for load. If I go to user instead and unfiltered, edit, settings, load, I was looking at computer, right? So for user there's nothing ready to load, so it's just for computers that they have a policy for load evaluations. Anyway, so this is one of the ways we can try to go for, and then there is in the Active Directory that we can try to go for, but if I have that administrative, you know, the Citrix administrative template that we at, sorry, where am I going here? Policy management here, and then edit the default domain policy, which should not be messed with, and no, it's not there. We had put that, you know, ICA admin policy, no, it was then window common components, it was under, yeah, it's not there. Okay, so I just have to add that again, but it also shows there the load related policies evaluation. But if you want to really implement it on, you know, if you have hundreds of servers and you want to implement that policy there, then you can any of the load evaluate related policy throughout the XenApp environment through group policies, then you can do that as well. That's the only thing about policies, but main are the load evaluators themselves, the custom load evaluators and load balancing policies that we can try to work with and then put them to test according if they are showing any kind of values there. So I would just want to check what is the situation, how many users are connected. So one user is connected to Citrix mem2 only, and yeah, there's both are not connected, so yeah, it needs to really update its counters quickly. Okay, so this was about load evaluation for all for the applications as well as the servers. But what we were doing last time was trying to make the web interface, this Citrix mem01, and show it with the Citrix web dot Citrix domain dot local, and it was configured to some extent, but it is not much reliable. So I'm talking about round robin, that we tried to do the round robin last time, and so it is in the video. I wanted to, and this was the procedure that add WI to Citrix mem02. What is round robin? Yeah, it is just DNS based free solution for high availability or load balancing for your web interface, and we get to have one URL. But then there is another Windows feature which is much more robust and is much more smarter than round robin, and that is network or load balancing, or NLB, which is a feature, not a role, inside the Windows Server. Load balancing. So NLB feature can be effectively used as a free solution. When you're trying to recommend that in your environment, first test it yourself vigorously and then do that, right? Okay, but it is being used. I have seen one of my friends, small office, that they have used this, and then there are all across the forums you can see lots of support for NLB as well. But definitely in professional environments, they go for Citrix recommended load balancers like NetScalers or many other products that does effective and intelligent load balancings, and they are really Citrix aware. They go for server load balancing as well as web interface load balancing as well. We're going to try to have an overview of that NetScaler as well. We'll try to put some lab there that is going to get us, although it's going to be tough. So what about load balancing? It's much more smarter. If you have 3 or 4 Citrix servers, the web interface, it detects that if one server is off, it tries to remove that from its load balancing, and when the server is back up, it automatically tries to add it, or if we do add it, at least it tries to make sure that all the servers are up and running to be offering its service. What we are trying to use NLB built-in feature of Windows is to make this WI available for everyone. Last time we tried to do that for round robin, and it was giving us problem, but network load balancing is a much better robust feature that is available in all across the internet by Citrix community. They are implementing that, and you can at least suggest that high availability with NLB as well. But for this, the steps are again the same, that we should have WI added to both, and we can check from now. We have we have checked with round robin, but we have to create. So for round robin, if I try to tell you with the diagram here, oops. Yeah, these are all the other labs. So if we go for SharePoint, we don't go for shaper now. Okay, so if we take these two servers and here, so what we are doing is there is that third server that is just the DC, and on the DNS we configured that round robin. And although round robin also can be used in combination with NLB, but NLB has to be enabled here, NLB feature, and it has to be installed on both of these. And also it should have, okay, so let me just quickly change this, especially XenApp. So what we need from XenApp is, or what feature we're putting as highly available is that WI, but what we need to seriously know about is how to configure NLB, because it is much more reliable. And I hope whenever we are doing live demos, it's always fingers crossed, but when we get to see the actual steps, we will be able to perform that easily. So it's WI that we are going to try to make available on NLB. There are lots of documentation over the internet by Citrix community, and they have supported that. I'm not saying Citrix is supporting that, but Citrix community has mentioned and supported that. So first I'm going to be a bit quicker with the basic setup of WI. That it should be installed. We already have WI on Windows, not web interface, not Windows, web interface for it is already set in the server 1, XenApp server 1. So on server 2 I'm just gonna quickly set it up and also add the NLB feature from Windows 2008 to both of these servers. And then main thing here would be that on DNS, instead of round robin, we're going to be creating a host record which for the virtual IP and name. So there will be a virtual name for this and an IP dedicated for the network load balancing, which will be used in the browsers. Just like before we were using Citrix Web, we can still put the same name, or we can just put a separate name, Citrix NLB Citrix Web dot Citrix Web NLB dot, just to make sure that what we are using is separate. Dot the full domain name, Citrix domain dot local. When we put that, or when the users put that, they should be able to log into the same web interface. But this is much more smarter than round robin in that round robin will never detect that if the server is down. It would detect if the web interface is not available from this server 2 or server 3 or server 1, wherever it has been hosted to. So it will detect that, and if there are 3 or 4 servers, it's going to just take out the non-available server and redirect the traffic to the next available servers. There are many other features for NLB as well, but it's just a bit more intelligent than round robin is what we can say. And the configuration is also not that big deal. The thing only is that Citrix environment ourselves, we had tried to maintain it to our level best, but it somehow the errors do come. Citrix environment do get broken. In my case, in the previous labs, well, all my published applications got broken, so when I was trying to start them, it was giving some weird errors which were not true. So I'm just gonna try to check on the second server if we have the web interface available quickly, and we do. And I'm just gonna try to see if I'm able to open on the second Citrix server that web interface. So I've just clicked it, and whenever it wants to open, okay, it's open. and our Citrix mem02, is it working or not? So I'm just gonna go to the browser. I'm already using the key. Okay, so I'm already using Citrix mem01 to as a web interface, but does 2 also work? And does it load the same web interface? And let me connect to the applications. So it is trying to load right now. क्या हुआ? Okay, sorry guys. Kids mutiny. Okay, so well, Citrix Mem 2 is trying to load, and I could just put it to another Windows as well. And I'm going to, so it is web interface is available on both the servers, just like last time. Now I just need to add the application for that. Let me just put it to, oh yeah, I already did the flash DNS register DNS for that, and test it on my DC as well, just to get some quicker results. So opening that browser and just pasting this, enter, and it is loading an internet option. I think it's already in this safe site. Yeah, it is not loading the client. Oh, this is, I didn't install on the DC, so I should. So okay, it loaded Citrix 2 and Citrix Mem 02 and administrator. Let's just administrator. And does it let me connect as well? It's taking pretty long time to do that, but at least the client was loaded. And on the second server, on the second client, if I, because I have the Citrix client loaded. Okay, why is it taking forever? But I'll have to test that too. So just putting that here as well. So let's see the response. That is it just my first Windows machine 003, and I'm connected with Citrix Mem 02, Citrix domain dot local. Oh, well, I'm connected. Some of your resources are available for reconnection. Yeah, I'll just put it on safe sites as well. Oh, it's not in the safe site there as well. That's why it's taking so much time, I guess. Yep, I'm in. So second and web interface is working fine, but I'll just quickly put that in the browser. Yeah, it was not added to the safe site. Now it should open faster. Okay, yeah, it does. And okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go to my first server, go to start, and this is the server manager in 2008. It's quite different from 2012. So I'm just gonna go for roles and add roles. Actually, it's a feature. NLB, add features, and there it is, network load balancing. So I'm just gonna click next here, install on the first server, go to the second server, try to open it. Add features, network load balancing on the second one. Install. So as I was talking in the diagram that we would need a host record, a separate static IP, and an a host record to properly configure it. And so this Citrix Web NLB, or you could just name it the same with the FQDN. So we just need one one virtual IP and the name, because we're going to be using that during the wizard of network load balancing. So before that, it is all, just like introducing any other feature, we should be sure that our environment basically is working. Okay, it's installing on the second one. So we can launch this network load balancing wizard on any one of that. So Windows automatic update is not enabled. Yeah, I don't need. So we can. It is upload. Not uploaded. Downloaded to both of these servers. NLB is there. So what we need to do right now is, if we go to administrative tools, and this is a network load balancing manager there, and this is the interface where we can actually add the second server as well. So there are some extra screenshots I took that are supposed to help me out on my right side on the second screen, just so I should not miss anything. And nothing is always perfect, although there is that requirement of adding XML services IIS integration option as well. So if I just drag this here, this screen, I'm just trying to go through these screenshots just to make sure that I'm not missing any step, because last time as well, even though we did not miss any step in round robin, it still did not work. Then I had to give just some extra time. Anyway, so there is one more feature. Since we are trying to, our objective is to make the Windows why I'm saying Windows web interface available perfectly. It is working fine for Citrix MEM02, as well as it is already working fine for MEM01. And enter. Yeah, it's perfectly working. So 1 and 2 are both working. This means and one more feature is required, which is XML broker. So if I go for configured here for XenApp, and try to add another role, actually if I need to add a separate role, it's going to be let me check this, add or remove server roles here, because XML services IIS integration, this is basically web interface we're trying to make available or highly available. So there is some extra service also. So we already talked about in one of the previous sessions what is XML broker. It helps the user session connect through the data collector to the least busy server, right? So it's the main communication between the user connectivity and the data collector, right? So XML broker service has to be available as well. I did try to click that on both. It's a small service, it should not be taking a lot of time. It's kind of loading, kind of. Okay, well, it's gonna go to the second screen one day or Monday. Let me just click there, that again. So seriously, need to convince both these guys. I have opened so many instances of this as well. Okay, there it is. So add server roles and Platinum Edition. We always selected that. Next. That's what I wanted to check. That it's not XML broker services is not available, but we have the web interface added to both. No, it's not available in Platinum. Let me go ahead. Well, Platinum is the highest one. Advanced is the actually the basic one. Strange. Different edition. So, well, at least we checked that we don't need that. So, but I will just put that edit configuration here for configured server. Just to check here as well. This is just the internal, whatever roles were already installed, whatever extra services we can enable or not, or whatever extra feature it is offering, we can just check here as well for this configured XenApp server, which has the role of, yeah, it is the XenApp server role. So I think it might be here instead of there. I'm just gonna make sure that I don't miss this. Okay, so it is open. Prepare the server for imaging provisioning. No way. Remove the server from the current form and then add it again. Well, it doesn't take that much time, but if we have to do that, if my boss says, hey, just do it, so I will just try to make it happen. So I'm just going to remove this from the form, although it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes for that. But it might give me that option to add the XML services IS immigration. Wow, why did I say that immigration? Okay, anyway, integration. Okay, it does not take that much time. If this is the case with the second one, yep, remove successfully. And when I click here, configure again. And this should not take and okay guys, one more thing here. Cancel web interface. No, it's not here. Okay, session settings. Okay, so add the server to the existing form. SQL Server, next. And there you go. Citrix XenApp 6.5 credentials, administrator. This is what we did to make it a session host instead of session controller, right? Test connection, we're good. Next, shadowing, upcoming. XML service, use a custom XML service TCP/IP port. No, we don't need custom one. Interface server name or URL for the receiver. Yeah, that's where we're supposed to put that. Data collection. Nope. Okay, at least I just tried on one, so I'm just gonna add it normally. That option, although it is set, is for XenApp 6.5, and I think I need to just install. Oh, okay. And the last thing I'm just going to try is, do I have the CD mounted for the XenApp? So I'm just going to go for one last option here. Yeah, I have the DVD for XenApp. Install XenApp, manual install components, applications or virtual machines, server components, common components, web interface, Citrix, nope. Server components, user profile, provisioning services, application performance, power and capacity, additional features, small editor, single sign-on, nope. We're gonna be visiting all these as well, so nothing here. Okay, I confirmed through this, and later I'm gonna check the document for this is to share the required ports, publish test applications. Okay, So as soon as this is done, I'm just gonna start configuring it and give it a virtual IP and name. So for the virtual IP, I'm just thinking that we could just put anything there. So in the slide, I'm just gonna put that the name and IP. Already we have done this Citrix web, although it should be very simple name for this, but I'm just putting this so we could just differentiate if you have both environments. Although if you have both, we can get rid of the round robin, but even if we don't, let's just check the NLB. So this is the case, and the IP has to be something next sequentially available. So I think I'm not using 35. I'm sure I never use that. So 200 and my environment is 200. Yep, 235 was not used before, so we're gonna make the A record for that, and okay, that's it. So on the second one, it's just joined to the farm, and I'll just close this, and oh yeah, the only thing about it is that it's gonna reboot. It's always good for the health of our Windows machine. And if I had open application here while the server is rebooting, it should just still open, detecting that there is first server available. So if we have our app center, this session must be opened here. Platform. Oh, hello. Open. Okay. Mister. Oh, seriously, I'm on 2 and it's not load balanced yet. 1, go to 1 for that, and then request application, because 2 is just restarting, right? Applying computer settings, and there you go. So we are ready. Okay. So the network load balancing, of course, it needs 2 servers, so I'm waiting for it to log in, and then I'll just quickly do the discovery, and we're gonna go ahead. So guys, when you're doing that, don't try this at home. Oh no, do try this at home, but don't go for restart of the server. I was just trying to exhaust all the options, and then we're gonna go for the forum settings, or the step-by-step lab, which is recommended by many of the Citrix community administrators. We're gonna just go that way. So Citrix is using already, it's installed over the Microsoft technology, the remote desktop services, or the previously known as terminal services. It's already using that, so that's why Citrix is supposed to be much more friendlier with Microsoft based technologies. It's also using already group policies on the Citrix form. So integration with Microsoft technologies is much better. That's why Citrix administrators around the internet are using some of the other Microsoft technologies to support the Citrix configurations, or to make it highly available. That's why this should also be one of those that we can use. So I'm just making sure the form is discovered properly. Yes, both servers are there, and we're good. Okay, so network load balancing is there. I'm going to send that document as well, as of course you already have this. Um, I'm just going for we have tested the published applications, configure web interface, test with client to ensure you can launch test applications. Yes, we have tested both of these web interfaces. Ensure to configure web interface identical on both. On yeah, web interface is identical. It is the full version. Yeah. Hey, there's messages here, and there's anyone knows how the messages is coming here. So if we go to web interface, edit. So we don't have the full version or fuller version of on the Citrix WEM02. When I log into WEM01, it has this version, and on it is also WEM01, for God's sake. Okay, how come it's not showing it? Maybe it's the browser based, or maybe I don't have the extra Citrix client. When I try to connect from Citrix 2, okay, why don't you just get loaded right away, please? It's added to the safe sites. Well, yeah, I had a restart, so it's trying to search for that. Well, we can consider it same, right? Let's go with the configuration now. Install MSNLB. Yeah, did that. Configure new cluster. Add both as host. Yes. So I'm just going to go right click this and new cluster. It uses the term cluster, but actually it's not cluster. Windows clustering is much more complicated than this. Many of us knows that. So I'm just gonna right click new cluster here and connect to one host that is to be part of the new cluster. So I'm just gonna connect to this one, and its name is Citrix mem01.citrix domain. Cannot select that. Citrix mem01.citrix domain.local. Connect ing. All right, so well, first we're gonna add first one, and then later we're gonna add the second one as well, and second one will only be added when it has the NLB feature installed. So this is just the priority one would be the first one. We can change the priority here if we have 4 or 5 or 10 or more than one. Of course, that's why we're creating it, because it's more than one. Default state, retain suspended state after computer. Now we're okay with that. Although at this time we can add the second dedicated IP address. This is IP address for this. No, it's okay. We're just adding the host, and the IP has been detected automatically. We don't have to. If this host has more than one network interface card, and it has an IP address, we can add that as well. But we don't want to, and we don't have it. So go next. Now it's asking for that cluster IP addresses are shared by every member of the cluster for load balancing. The first IP address listed is considered the primary cluster IP address and used for cluster heartbeats. This is that IP address that I was saying that I think 35 is what we chose, 200.35. So we can have at although there is, I don't need heartbeat for this, right? No, virtual IP. This is the where we're going to be assigning the cluster parameters, so it's going to detect that. So I am just putting this IPv4 192.168.200. So this NLB you can use anywhere else as well to make two servers highly available, or load. This is basically load balancing. You can use it for load balancing for any other feature as well of the Windows. Okay, and this is 35, and of course it's 255 the subnet mask. Press OK. This has been selected for our what I was saying, virtual IP address. our cluster IP, and this is where we put that name, Citrix Web NLB dot. Okay, ignore all and go for copy. So this is the name or FQDN we are giving there. So full name Citrix Web NLB. While I'm putting it there, this is the time, because later I don't want to forget this, so I'm just gonna go back to my domain controller and exactly put this information there as well. In the DNS, DNS manager is open here, and I'm just gonna put refresh and right click here and create a host record, and Citrix Web NLB. When I put that there, it automatically populates this, and we go for 192.168.200.35. Citrix Web NLB dot Citrix dot. Okay, add host successfully added. Done. There it is. I already have those commands. Config / flush DNS. Enter. Down arrow. Register DNS. Enter. Do your stuff. And Citrix Web NLB. Oops. Web NLB. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead now. I'll go for multicast here, cluster operation mode. So it has to communicate with more than one server, and it has to, through one IP, it has to go and communicate behind one IP to multiple IP addresses and MAC addresses. And it's going to be not the single MAC address that's going to be used. Multiple MAC addresses for, there are one network card for this server, one network card for that server. So multicast would be better, so it could properly communicate with multiple servers and drive traffic there. Okay, so cluster and the name next. This is the port setting, that if we have some firewall rules available, so we could just define some specific ports. Here we're just going, okay, go ahead, the port, use any port between 0 to 65,000, so we're just gonna leave it that. Finish. So this is the first server added, and we can add host to cluster now to add the second server. So it's Citrix mem 02.citrix domain.local connect. It should detect that if it has connectivity, and if I don't have an IP address, no firewall. So when we start that, firewall tend to block. Yeah, so it's just connection said Citrix mem02.citrix domain.local. Seriously, come on. Yep, so it's the IP address, IP config, name resolutions on IP config / flush DNS, and up arrow register DNS, and also the firewall of this guy I just restarted. Third thing was that, yeah, it is added here, network load balancing services there. So yep, okay. What do you mean local? Okay, yeah, interface name is local, sorry. Yeah, it's also here, local. That's the network card name we put. The second one is internet, right? So priority is 2 here for this. next, and the port is also the same. So this is going to be converged, which means that they're going to be properly communicating with each other. So it's still saying pending, so it should be showing converged. There are many other forums also which are trying to make this setting really working. Okay, from port 80 to 80. Okay, it shows converged here, and Citrix Web NLB Citrix domain.local, and this is exactly how it is there. The moment of truth. Fingers crossed. Obviously, always when it comes to IAS control hosts, we can start, stop, and before doing anything, shall I restart IAS Manager Services? Okay, first let's just check if it works. If not, then Citrix Web NLB dot Citrix domain dot local instead of this, and Citrix Web NLB. All right. Okay. Okay. Good. Let me just quickly check if my applications are intact. Connect. All right. Woohoo. Go ahead. Okay. Same thing. Let's go there. The second machine, which hasn't started yet, restarted because of the expiration. Okay. Citrix Web NLB. We are going. We are rocking. Really rocking. Okay. So this is one. Yeah, it's opening fine, and the session in XenApp is open for first server. The user is connected. Yeah, calc is opening. In fact, it's even giving much more accurate current setting. On user 03. The round robin did not, work that easy. Well, and Citrix domain.local, and okay, maybe I need to add this to the safe sites, trusted sites. Yeah, I do need to, and should also, well, it is working, which is so. Yeah, Citrix is very Windows friendly technology. So that's why its integration with Windows features is good. Now if one of the server is, so Citrix mem01 is the server that I would want to take down and stop. So that should, at least it's not from high availability aspect. If I stop it and it's not available within this group, and if there are 4 or 5 servers, the traffic should automatically be redirected to mem02, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it intelligently does that. It detects anything gone, and it effectively, so it in optimized manner, it redirects the traffic and maintains the traffic. It has much more deeper features, and also we can put the ports as well. We can define the ports here among these, as well as we can try to have some maintenance on it as well. Just to There is that feature called drain stop, where it properly stops all the services and then shut down the server. There are many features, and we can just go technet and see what else NLB does, that if we want to really do our homework and introduce it into our environment, if the company somehow doesn't have the budget and wants to have high availability available as high availability for the XenApp servers, 3 or 4 XenApp servers or 2 XenApp servers you want to make it available. This is how it is being configured right now, and it's working fine. So any questions till now, and any questions regarding to your environment? So what we did today was, we talked about all the load evaluators, and then we already performed the round robin, which you can use for any other feature, but Citrix is very Windows friendly, so any of the Windows features are mostly working. Always do the homework, and try to have some step-by-step documentation available for you before you go for recommendation of these services in the production environment. Do a test. It works fine across the internet. You will see the Citrix community, the system administrators working on Citrix for some time are using this. So this is we talked a lot about load evaluators. Now next session will be about printing and some other extra, other than printing, some smaller topics as well. So load evaluators as well as WI high availability is what we did today, all about load balancing and load evaluation. So any questions, let me know. If your associate SCCM class will be starting soon, let us know. If anyone else is interested, email me and or Manzar, and or anyone else is interested. So we can start that. It's a real beast in the market. Sorry. Oh, I said beast, and something happened to my throat. It's that dangerous, SCCM. But when we go for step-by-step labs, it becomes really fun and interesting. Okay, so guys, anything else, any questions, let me know. Please don't give up on your environments. Involve me if I was not able to reply your email or SMS. Do repeat that or reply that. I don't mind at all. I would love to go ahead and troubleshoot your environments as well. Every knowledge is always useful. Or if you find the solution for something, please do share with us and share your knowledge. That's how you get to know this. So please screenshots, please send screenshots for this and previous pending labs. Many of you are sending. So thank you. And if there's no questions and everything's good here, then we're gonna meet on Sunday morning, and we're meeting Sunday morning because I made some arrangement in the office as well. Hey, not to get me involved, there are some, one of my colleagues also is back, so there will be much more better coverage. And sorry about short notices. Okay guys, so see you Sunday morning, and if anyone is interested in SCCM 2012 R2, let us know. Okay, good night, and good night guys, if you were listening all this time. Just kidding, you were okay. Okay, that's it. Closing the video now. Hey, now I'm beginning to doubt. Hey, good night, guys. Hello. Just kidding. Okay, just watch the video and go ahead with the screenshots.